Hello and welcome everyone. This is Lavender Sky Panther. Today is Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020, and today's topic is called Bats in the Sky. It's a collection of images and sky observations happening October 23rd through the 29th, 2020. And before we get into those, I'd like to say good day, osio, how, buongiorno, guten tag, kia ora, jambo, buenos dias, bonjour, ni hao, dzień dobry, konnichiwa, dobrowania, annyeonghaseyo, boa tarde, dobry den, aloha winala, kalimera, and guten dag. Now this first image comes in from Aesthetic Girl. Thank you, Aesthetic Girl, for this and the beautiful cover photo, so credits go there. This is called Triangular Shaped Clouds at Sunset. The upper left is the original, and the right has been enhanced somewhat to kind of highlight some areas that we're going to talk about. When I say enhanced photos or photo enhancement, it simply means I've edited attributes of the photos, such as contrast, brightness, color saturation, things of that nature, just to kind of get at and highlight these little points of interest we're going to look at. So in this case, in the upper left-hand photo, we're seeing a beautiful bright orange, fiery orange, and reddish pinks in there with the sunset. But then we're also noticing some triangular shape and character to these quote-unquote clouds. So when I use clouds in quotes, that also means I'm looking at the possibility that these are cloaking craft, which I really do believe is what's going on here because of the perfect shape here. There's one beyond here, and there's an outline popping up over here. Okay, this is just called Rainbow East and Sunset West, and this pair is more or less just to get it in the show to log it. This was a rainbow. It wasn't so extraordinary in its own right, other than it's beautiful. They're always beautiful. But I'm mainly putting it here to note that in the last several years, in this area, subtropical, tropical South Florida, I've only been seeing like one rainbow per 6 months, and that's just unheard of. We used to see them all the time. Now, in the past 3 weeks, I've been seeing maybe 2 a week, so there's been an uptick on these things showing up, thank goodness. Hopefully that means, some good things to come. Now, the right-hand side just was strange, with the texture of not only of the clouds, but mainly the color signatures. So even though this is an enhanced photo, you clearly see there's like a more of a golden glow here, and this is definitely a different animal happening over here. There could be something darker with this shadow happening on beyond there. I'm just thinking cloaking craft or something of that nature. And there we have a whiter color here of an elongated triangle happening beyond some of this stuff. And then a bright white pocket over here. So just the whole thing seemed a little off. Just wanted to record it though, because for whatever reason we're getting some warmer signature happening in the sky. This is called Objects in the Clouds, and I'm going to look at this area of interest. So where I have A, we're going to zoom in on it a little bit more in the future, and you'll see 8.1 or 2. When I do that, it just means that I've either zoomed in or enhanced the photo area or both, just to kind of get at what could be going on. So in this overall scene, it is sunset, but then we've got these white crystalline triangular shapes popping up, weird shapes popping up over here, little weird texture activity happening down here. Definitely something strange here, which was not a lens flare, so we're going to take a look at that again, a little more enhancement and zooming in. So here we go. Again, we see a pure triangle here, other strange stuff emerging. And what's interesting is the color signatures. So note that we've got warmer colors here, and then bright white or grayish things popping up over here, and then of course the green with a little more detail. So we're going to look in with even further enhancement and see what we get. So 8.2, I start to see some real structure here, like two triangular shapes, connected with a little bar. Then we start to see that happening here and here. Seems to be some depth to it with a little bit of patterning in here. Have a look on this. Have a look at this on your own time a little bit more if you like. This is all I'm going to cover on it today, though. And again, just zooming in and just noting some odd characteristics happening in behind what it should be quote-unquote cloud material. All right, this is called Multicolored Sunset Impossible Object. We're going to take a look at that with enhancement right away. And here we go. So again, we've got this, color signature happening beyond. This could be some type of cloaking craft or shape happening in here. There's just a lot of mystery looming in this darkness. Over here it looks like a triangular shape. Just see if you see anything interesting. And again, with any of these photos, I may not get to it and cover all the oddities that might pop up in a photo, so feel free to note that in the comment section below if you want me to run enhancement on anything or call it out extra, or if you have any just cool ideas of what could be going on in these photos. A lot of these photos I'm going to have more questions than answers, and maybe you have some interesting angles as well. Alright, this is Strange Clouds at Sunset. Strange because these are on angle, strange because they're all parallel marching along. A little weird dog leg thing happening coming out of that particular quote-unquote cloud. This is a weird consistency, very loose and not well held together compared to all of this, so that signals to me that could be cloaking material for something. Then look at this. Just strange ripple-like effects happening with a very strange cloud type right next to this in the same level, altitude and everything. So what the heck is going on? To me, this is probably some electromagnetic wave activity happening above of some type, creating this disturbance. See what you think? Let's look at it with more enhancement to pull that out a little bit more. So really, why do we have some warm reddish pink character to these clouds below? Nothing on this thing, and yet this is pure white. So see what you think. Look, looks very interesting too. I still think this is some type of interesting cloaking mechanism for whatever might be beyond. Okay, similar principle here. We've got weird, I like to call it staccato. It's very kind of blurred out to the naked eye, even though we've got other stuff in sharp focus. So right there with it. Now this is a clear diamond shape, if you follow my cursor, with some different texture, very clear texture. So I do believe this is some type of either cloaking 3D craft or something interdimensional coming in and going. Could it be a portal of some type or a sensor? Who knows? I'm open to all possibilities. Here we go with some enhancement just to kind of draw out that a little bit better to see what's going on. This is strange clouds, cloaking object, clouds in quotes. And again, look at this. We've got a weird bright white type of quote-unquote cloud with a lot of structure to it, so I'm going to call that a cloaking craft. Then we've got just all kinds of crazy activity here. This is not normal cloud activity. It doesn't form this way. Then we've got bright white beyond it. And then we've got like this thing jettisoning up, from a clear angular object cloaking in there. Let's just see what's going on with a little more enhancement. And here we just kind of pull out of it that, yeah, we have a dark red signature here where we have golden over here. So what's going on? Got some weird little objects poking in here, This thing does still look to me like something is jettisoning off a little platform or edge of some other craft, behind here. This one isn't as clear as other examples, so I'm going to move on. But, this little form is definitely interesting. Okay, this is also more strange clouds, cloaking or interdimensional object. So on the left-hand side is looking east, at sunset, actually, mind you, so that's important detail. So here we've got some gray cloud covering up what's happening, on the east horizon at the time of sunset, which is happening on the diametrically opposed opposite, horizon. But here we get, weird cloud shape. Again, cloud used loosely because it could be cloaking craft. Look at this, since when do clouds do this? Make a perfect, shape in here, like a perfect ellipse or oblong spherical thing. And then we get this weird chaotic little activity and structure happening in that quote-unquote cloud. Weird, loose, low gray stuff. I can't even call that cloud. We look to the right with enhancement, and you see at the horizon we got a ton of red signature happening down there. Weird little cloud formation here. Again, we see that cutout and very loose, consistency of this quote-unquote cloud. So to me, there's something either the negative, the void in here created is either the cloaking craft, or I don't know what, or this is the shape of a craft in its own right. I'm not sure what's going on there, but this has a curve to it too, so it's very curious. See what you think is going on here? Again, it's weird that this is picking up red-pink signature and these are staying, dead dark gray. This is strange clouds again, cloaking objects. We're going to take a look at this with enhancement right away so you can see some things better, but this is bright white or whiter than this golden, activity here. There seems to be reddish pink activity happening here beyond, and then this is white. And then we have more of this, like I would like to call a staccato cloud. It's really choppy and a little out of focus. So let's see what's going on. Okay, with some enhancement, we can clearly see the area and territory of red and pink. And why does it just stop, interrupted, and then we get bright white? That's a very important question. I think this is a triangular shadow beyond. So again, is that a craft? Is it a sensor? Is it something else? This body here looks like it also could be a cloaking craft. Definitely there's got to be something cloaking down in here. It's just so strange. I've never seen a normal cloud form look like this. And I've lived here on this planet for decades. So see what you think it could be. Oh, pardon the helicopter noise in the background. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. That was an extremely loud helicopter. Anyhow, so what's going on? We've got bright white, but yeah, we've got warm tone down here. Something's happening right here in this transition. So is there like a super large craft, triangular shape, illuminating the sky to hide how we see even more reddish, glow beyond? I think that could be happening. Do look at my description box below for what could be causing this red activity. In some cases, you're just going to see an overall glow. In other cases, it's like a red-pink sphere beyond. And there's a lot of possibilities of what that could be. It could be one or more of them, all of the above. Have a look and see what your thoughts on that are. I do think there's a red planetary body just offshore, like I like to say. And there's so much veiling and other stuff happening in the sky that we can't get a good fix on it. But it could also be some, light energy field of light that's a positive thing, bringing in good cosmic light and things. I don't know. See what you think. In no case do I see any doom and gloom with this, just something to really fascinate at and wonder about. And here we go on that theme. So again, look in the description box of what that could be, and also look at other YouTube channels, Skywatchers, and other Earth-watching type channels to see what people are photographing all around the world and what they're documenting. It's really similar stuff, and just shows you something is going on worldwide with this. So the upper left-hand photo is the original. You just see that beautiful glow, whatever it is. Again, it's interrupted by something bright white. In this case, look at it. It looks like a pointed ellipse. Actually, the more I look at this smaller thumbnail size, and we got these bright rays, popping up out of this thing, of white. So I do have to go with it. Look at the points, as an overall cloaking craft, albeit maybe intentionally not cloaking so well, so we see what's going on. But it's interrupting this red, that's trying to push beyond. There's something weird happening here too. See what you think about all of this, though, and form your own opinion as well. All right, left-hand side, more of the similar scene in the right, and I'm just going to put some more enhancement just to look at that beautiful glow. Again, it's being interrupted for sure. Get bits and pieces of it poking up beyond. This is called Mysterious Red-Pink Glow Shadow Pattern, and we're going to look at it in enhancement mode because it's easier to see. But I just started seeing this weird bar going this way, and then this way, cutting through this red glow. And keep in mind that the sun is supposedly setting beyond. We're looking southwest, so be more to the right on the photo. So here we go. When I look at it in this mode, it looks like some big craft just, went and zigzag up through this thing, or maybe this way. Either way, it just looks strange. See what you think is going on. All right, this is Mysterious Red-Pink Glow south at sunset. So to the naked eye, it's a little maybe difficult to see in this version, but the more you look at the skies and pick up on these things and know that this is happening, the more you start to see it. So I could just tell and sense there's a red-pink glow happening here, and sure enough, when we go to enhancement, bam, there it is. So what's going on? Again, we've got this really choppy clouds. It tells me there's some type of disturbance happening above here. Is it one massive craft? Is it multiple craft or a fleet of them? Probably, to create this. And then again, everything else is in sharp focus, and it does look fuzzy to the human eye as well. This is strange side-by-side cloud formations. Pretty self-explanatory, but this thing just kind of popped up out of nowhere. It looks artificially generated because it's on an angle. There's weird, triangular shaped pieces sticking in there. So to me, that's totally being generated by Cloaking Craft, whether it's man-made, ET-made, or what have you. And maybe it's not even craft. Maybe it's some type of advanced technology, like sensors dropped in there to create these, billowing things. I'm not sure, but I know it's not natural. And then back here is also almost supernatural. I do cover the possibility of this being sky or air wisps, and it was brought to my attention by my Skies 5D at one type that these are also called sylphs, and they're just pretty much like air elemental spirits, supposedly positive things. I always see them popping up in conjunction with geometries, so in this case it's like kite shape, or they form next to a triangle, so I'm not really sure what the role of these things is, but look, it's a totally different animal than this. And let's look further with enhancement. You can see it a little bit better. Here's a definite triangle beyond in shadow. You see something here too, something happening here as well. And the more you look, the more you're going to see. So I'll let you have at it on your own time. Really, take these photos and check them out. Okay, here's a zoom in on that thing that was a sylph or air elemental. Very interesting, fascinating thing, whatever it is. This is called Cloaking Objects at Sunset. We're going to look at letter A, this kind of boomerang type shape thing. Really kind of stood out to me, in addition to the bright white little points of crystalline light that always grab my attention when they're sitting in the middle of something darker. And then here we have some other shapes, coming along, which, tell me those could be Cloaking Craft. So we'll take a look at with more enhancement. And here we go in the upper right-hand photo. 8.1 is now looking at that object boomerang shape. And the more I see it, the more to me that's symmetry. There's some kind of weird symmetrical shape happening here too. So to me this looks like intelligent design. Is this something piggybacking on the top of a bigger craft? Perhaps. Is this just like an observation deck of something bigger beyond? perhaps as well. You know, we've got weird stuff happening back here. This could be other little bits and pieces of different craft with trailing, you know, little trails behind it. Hard to say. Again, some shows it's like I can see actual edges and material, and others it'll be a little less so. But I've been doing this enough to know that, you know, you just sense when there's certain things cloaking beyond. You know, you just really feel it, like using your spidey sense or your sixth sense. All right, here we're going to zoom in on it a little bit more with more enhancement. And here I just see bright white. So to me, again, this is something has symmetry to it. You know, enough of symmetry to say it's got some type of intelligent design. And sometimes with some of these things that I'm calling cloaking craft, you know, they may be like a dead giveaway, like it's a triangular shape, and we don't see that in the sky in nature. And other times it's just something that might be a little more organic, so more or less symmetrical, but more organic properties to it. All right, this is another Cloaking Objects at Sunset frame, and here we go. So what caught my attention were these 3 points. They look like windows to me, or openings. They're very regular. Looks like these are like mullions, you know, happening in between. And I caught something a little better on a previous show, Sky with a View, I think I called it. But anyway, we're going to look at this with enhancement, and here we go. You know, to me, this is definitely an overall arcing structure. So to me, that is definitely a cloak and craft with other craft maybe alongside it. Who knows? But, you know, have a look and see what you think. All right, this is Cloaking Objects at Sunset. Here, this just caught my attention. Again, it's like an elliptical form of light. Looks like this cloud structure is breaking around it. We've got some stuff, you know, coming in as sharp edges alongside it, or like coming into it. Then we have this thing, you know, dead and even more horizontal. And then all this chaotic cloud activity, which I call staccato cloud. Again, this on sharp angles. There's a whole lot going on here. Then on top of it, we look at letter A, and there seems to be a definite object emerging. So here we're going to look at it with enhancement. Again, there's a little object popping out. It has a sharp edge to it, some bright light points. You know, again, we look at this center. We just see these sharp things, little shards popping up all over the place. So I do think these are cloaking craft of a very different shape and character, and that stuff could be hiding all over the place in the scene. And also note the really red raspberry kind of glow and signature we've got going on here, with all different other, you know, brighter and then more golden down here. So something's going on. Now in the upper left hand photo, we're zooming in, it's 8.2. And we have a little more photo enhancement to see that this definitely looks like object and character. It's got sharp edges and brighter points. It looks like something overall is popping up here as well. All right, this is just called Red Pink North at sunrise. And looking north, and again, it's at sunrise, 7:22 in the morning. So we've got a whole lot of red pink signature for being north. And down here too toward the horizon. And as you look to the right, it's not coming from the sun, supposed sunrise to the right where it would be. So what is generating this? Why is it there in the north? We're going to look with some enhancement, and I think you can get what I'm talking about. You know, really, I know it's exaggerated, but yeah, red pinks happening just kind of locally in the air. And this is a very loose organic form of it, like a mist almost. And to the right, it's still showing golden. So what is going on to the north? Then this is called Spontaneous Expanding Cloud, in quotes, east at sunrise. The left-hand photo, this thing is on a sharp angle, a weird angle, showing me that's not a typical cloud. And then again, it seems to have separate components to it. And it just seemed to form on the spot. And it started to get a little more dense, you know, still kind of ragtag and, you know, weird in formation. But it definitely got, you know, even denser than that. And to the right, I just wanted to show you at the beginning of its formation. So the right-hand side is just with enhancement. Now I see a triangular shape in there, like a trapezoidal shape here, triangle here, and again, some weird triangular form up here. So what is going on? Are these craft that are in cloaking mode, that are creating, you know, this extra stuff, this cloaking material cloud? Or are these like sensors or some advanced technology we don't quite grasp yet, you know, that can create on the spot, you know, clouds? I think it could be a combination of both for all I know. All right, this is odd cloud forms at sunset. And again, they're pitched on an angle in a weird way, all parallel marching along. This is weird, you know, it has no real consistency to it if that's supposed to be a cloud. I start to see a triangle forming here as well. You know, there are other shapes all over this place. There's lighter crystalline, like white crystal light poking up from behind there that tells me there's something cloaking in there. And then we got this weird bright white cloud, standalone, cloud in quotes, by itself. This weird jagged edge thing here. So we're going to look at it with enhancement. Here we go. You know, again, these are kind of bright white little points sticking out through the cloud that tells me that's probably something generating illumination from beyond there, so like a cloaking craft. Then that stays white and true for some mysterious reason, while everything else is picking up some warm signature happening beyond. And again, all of this is, covering up the sunset and what could be going on with it. This is odd cloud forms at sunrise. This time 7:16 in the morning, looking east. So you can detect with the human eye there's a pink-red glow happening beyond, and these weird angles of these supposed clouds, which again I'm calling cloak and craft, due to geometry, symmetries, and other features about it. So here we go with some enhancement. You can see that glow that I was talking about before. And again, look how odd these shapes are. We're going to look at them a little closer. Look at this. That's not a cloud form that I know of. I've been living on this planet for decades. I've never seen anything like this. And how come this one's pitched on this angle while this one's a little more straight? And again, to get some white crystalline points in there. So I think both of these are cloak and craft. We're going to look at it with a little more enhancement and contrast, a little brightness. And to me, this is definitely showing cloaking material tufted along. This might be a little trail, behind this thing. But see what you think. Here's another one of those examples, strange shape. Got a little bit of hard structure here when it's true black. And this looks like tufted cloud, cloak and cloud happening around this thing. So we'll look at that too. And here we go. Just see even little bits flying off of it maybe. And with a little more extreme enhancement, this still stays a hard edge. And this looks like tufted smoke happening, tufted cloaking material happening around another object. Here's another similar example at letter A. So we're going to look at it with enhancement. Here we get some red-pink glow beyond. This is looking east at 7:19 in the morning. And, we get a clear shape here with an edge to it. And we look up at 8.2, and, it still holds. It's like a kite shape, diamond shape. Actually, what do I want to say? It's even like a pendulum-shaped object. And this may be actually part of a bigger object. So this actually could be like a boomerang shape. If you follow my cursor, it could wrap around with some cloaking material tumbling along, overflowing in front of it. I think that's what's happening. See what you think, though. All right, another odd cloud at sunrise. Look at this one. It has a clear fin on it, almost like a wave or with a point on it. So we're definitely going to check this out in enhancement mode. Here we go. This looks like object cloaking. So does this, whatever this might be, like arrowhead shape thing. And then I don't even know what this is in shape, but look at it. We go to 8.2. We're going to remove the color out of it. Just sometimes when you either add color to a black and white or take it out and make it black and white, it helps your brain perceive things and put things together in a different way. And I definitely see that with this. So to me, this is definitely cloak and craft or some type of organism. I'm open to it being some type of biological entity as well. All right, odd cloud at sunrise. Once again, lower left is the original photo. And this is looking southeast at 7:30ish in the morning. And look at this. So we've got one little object here, typical cumulus type cloud happening down here. So we enhance it over on the right hand side. We see warm activity signatures happening all over the place here. And then this is starting to look like an object at A1. We go to A2 and we still see that hard edge. Looks like a smooth curve. It looks like tufted smoke cloaking material happening over here. Then this one's really pretty beautiful. The left hand side is original photo. Look at this weird little stray quote unquote cloud all on its own. And we got weird other, very different type of cloud, quote unquote, coming in. We've got these shafts of light, rising up out of the, sunrise. Then we go to the right to see the enhanced version. And look at this. It's really catching that in a very interesting way. So to me, that's got to be a cloak and craft in there. No way about, any way you slice it, that's got to be a cloak and craft. But see what you think it is. Okay, odd clouds, looking west this time towards sunset. And upper left is the original photo, and you can just see why I took it probably. It's like a trio of very specific shapes. So a couple of triangles, another one happening back here. And then this is very solid, which is strange because they're all in the same proximity to each other. There shouldn't be anything causing this to be much darker, and yet it is. All right, this is red, pink, and dark gray clouds at sunset. Again, shout out and thank you for the photo to Aesthetic Girl for this beautiful photo. So we look at this, it's looking west at sunset, and what is going on here? So we have a smoother, cloud, kind of singular cloud here. We've got blanket clouds marching across the horizon. We've got something welling up in here and masking out. I can't even tell what that is. This looks like a spherical shape, with a kind of a point at it. Not a pear shape, but close. Then we've got this. I have no idea what's coming or going or being cloaked or left. I'm not sure if this is a standalone object of it or if this whole thing is one big assembly. Hard to say. Otherwise, what the heck is this doing in this area? There's an outline of a triangle happening here. There's a shadow line happening straight up here, so there's something creating a dark beam going vertical. There's just a lot happening in this photo. So we're going to look at it with enhancement, and wow, we can really pick out these unique characters, if you will. They even have different color signatures. So this goes more raspberry and purple. We've got more peach, more reddish, plum, kind of things happening. So what is going on? I'll leave this to you to look at in little more detail on your own time. So we zoom in a little bit more just to pick out these little features. I'm like, what is happening? So then I really blew things out in terms of brightness. Again, just to see if anything really pops up. And this is what we're left with. So I am not sure what's going on here. Looks like a whole lot of interdimensional things perhaps. See what you think is going on. All right, well, this is our photo of the week, and I'd like to say thank you for looking at some fun and puzzling things here a while with me. I like to include every so often a wordplay game board result, and here is one of them. So our criteria for playing is always do not play for points, and just include positive or neutral words whenever possible. And that's it. So I wish you all a beautiful week ahead. Best wishes always, and best wishes for tremendous peace as well. So see you soon. Till next time. Lavender Sky Panther. Bye.